Well, now on to our special segment from Davos at the World Economic Forum. Reacting to the Oxfam report on poverty, Wipro founder Azim Premji tells NDTV that it's legitimate to tax the super rich in India.
One dominant theme that seems to be coming out are the huge wealth gaps that we seem to be seeing. Oxfam has come out with a report that says that what the 100 richest people in the world have earned is enough to end poverty 4 times over, world poverty 4 times over. Now, that's absolutely shocking piece of statistic.
I've not read the statistics.
But
that seems shocking.
$240 billion is the income of the 100 richest, which can end poverty 4 times over. Does data like this really sadden you?
It does sadden you.
So do you think there is a case to now start addressing the issue of extreme wealth? Do you believe the concept of extreme wealth is unethical, as our Oxfam terms it?
I don't think it's unethical, but I think a lot of trusteeship responsibility has to accompany it. And wealthy people should consider that as part of their obligations. And the more that wealthy people consider that as part of their obligation and part of their wealth as part of their trusteeship and not personal wealth, I think the longer they're going to survive in that position. Otherwise, the forces of socialism will overtake them. I mean, that's inevitable.
But do you see that trend really happening? Do you see that realization setting in amongst the wealthy people?
I think you're seeing it happening in the United States. Because we have been involved with what Bill Gates has been doing, etc. We are trying to get some amount of awareness done because of the philanthropy we kicked off.
Right.
And we formed a little cell which gives specialized advice as part of a core group. And we are meeting twice a year. I think there's consciousness. A lot of people still don't know how to go about it. A lot of people don't know how to scale it.
But there is an inclination.
There is an inclination.
And what about India? Would you believe the same for India?
Yes.
There is an inclination to
without question.
Without question. But also the fact that there is a need to do much more, because you're talking about a country that has a vast majority of the world's poor, and yet when you see the rising disparity in wealth, those are really worrying trends.
And the rising disparity in consumption.
Rising disparity in consumption as well. So do you think redistribution and addressing some of these inequalities is something that's going to be really the dominant theme of economic policy making, of corporate thinking in the years to come?
I don't think so much is going to be the issue of redistribution. It's going to be trying to increase the base of income and wealth. You don't create wealth by redistributing wealth. You create wealth by creating wealth. I think that's probably even more important than trying to redistribute wealth. But I think there has to be a much higher consciousness among the very wealthy that they have a responsibility towards that wealth and not just a legacy to leave it to their family and keep growing and growing and growing.
And that brings me to the question, another debate which is really taking place even in India, taxing the super rich. Is it an idea whose time has come?
Well, the finance minister is talking about it.
Right.
I don't know what will be the outcome of it.
Would you favor it, taxing the super rich?
I'm frankly neutral on it.
Why would you say that? You usually have very strong views, especially on issues like philanthropy. You lead by example, but on taxing the wealthy, you don't seem to have a clear stand.
I don't really have a clear stand on it. I'm ambivalent on it. It sounds the right thing to do politically, but I don't know whether it will actually come about, because the same thing has come up on estate duties.
Right.
Most parts of the world have estate duties. Is it the right thing to do or not the right thing to do?
Why would you say it's not the right thing to do? Because even politically and economically speaking, it's again all about those who are earning more should contribute more, that the overall philosophy remains the same. Would you agree with that?
The end result shouldn't be that you get into very complex tax games to be able to mitigate it, which has happened in most parts of the world. The wealth has remained. It's got re-gamed in terms of very sophisticated tax structures. And there is not a country where those tax structures have not happened. So you just get into more overheads in terms of how you manage that wealth. Whereas to tax rich at a higher slab rate on income is a little more straightforward.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. So what about also increasing, changing the tax slabs in a way that those who earn a certain amount pay more? I mean, it's also about rejigging the tax slabs. Would you be in favor of that?
It depends at what rate they start. But in terms of the super rich, I think there is a legitimacy in it, in a country as poor as ours.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.